I've been so far ahead in production lately, I haven't really done an episode like I'm going to do today. And what do I mean by that? The old moniker of this podcast was the unscripted podcast about anything and everything. And predominantly, it's still that podcast. But of late, I have been doing a lot more preparation, a lot more outlining. I still don't write a script or anything, but I figured I caught up with everything and I needed an episode for this week. What better way than to kind of go back to the beginning? And what I mean by that is this past week or so, during my idle time, I've been rewatching. I think it's still on the air, but watching the older episodes of the TV show Paranormal Caught on Camera. And it's bringing up a lot of memories from my days of ghost hunting. And I thought, hey, that's a good idea to come on here and talk about one of the things that seems to be very prevalent these days, specifically on short form videos. And that is, ghost sightings and all of that stuff. And there's a big difference between what I'm about to tell you over the next few minutes and other people, and that's perfectly fine. I have no issue with it. What I'm talking about is they talk to you with so much conviction about knowing what everything is and how everything it comes to be and whatnot. And to be frank, we really don't know. And that's fine if they believe that way. I have no issues with that. But when it comes to the paranormal, specifically ghostly paranormal, we honestly don't know what a lot of these experiences are. We have opinions, but we don't know for a fact. But that being said, you can believe what you want, just like I can believe what I want. So let us talk a little bit about shadow people. And there's a big dichotomy within shadow people as far as ghostly phenomenon goes. Some people will insist to you that they are demonic. Other people will just say they're ghostly spirits, and there's a whole host of explanations. But as far as shadow people go, actually, you know what? Some people, the skeptics, will just tell you it's part of sleep paralysis, which is hilarious when people capture them when they're nowhere near asleep. But it is what it is. But what are shadow people? Essentially, I think they're just ghostly figures caught on camera, whether it be video or still. And well, let's take a look at a video, shall we?
I'm gonna show you guys 3 or 4 videos of the best video evidence of the existence of shadow people or shadow figures. A lot of people have seen these bizarre entities, featureless, dark, shadowy humanoid figures inside their rooms or homes, and no one knows exactly why they show up. This is the first video. Check this out.
Anyways, I'm here because I'm videotaping because I keep hearing some crazy shit coming from my basement. Like pounding, stuff being moved. You hear it? So, anyways, I'm just going. You hear? It sounded like someone walking up down the steps. But anyways, I'm going down, and I've decided to videotape it to have proof for my wife. She doesn't believe me. All right, here we go. Hello. I know I hear you down here. I know I heard you.
Okay, that's going to play again, but we're going to have a reoccurring theme on this episode about the shadow figures that are so solid they block out everything behind them. and just seemed to be peeking around the corner. We'll come back to it.
Holy fuck! Oh my... Dude! I just saw... Holy shit, man! Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Dude, I swear to gosh. I just heard it. Holy shit!
In this second video, a security guard captured a very clear evidence of such thing in a hallway.
That one's actually a pretty good picture or depiction of a shadow person. The first one, we're going to get back to the whole peeking around the corner thing, but I think if they are ghostly phenomenon or folks that have passed on or animals that have passed on, this video is a good depiction of it. Later on, I will show you another one that I think is a pretty solid evidential video of ghostly phenomenon. But the first one, like I said, we're going to get back to that kind of thing.
In this third video, a man is sensing strange things in his apartment and he decided to record it and, well, he captured it on camera. Check this
I'm
out.
walking down. It's serious. I don't look at it. It's being serious. I don't look at it. It'll just do itself. Yeah. You see tons of stuff in these older buildings. Tons. You see shadow people or crazy, like a big ghost hunter type person.
That one actually is pretty good too. That is the prototypical description of a shadow person. The other ones, like you saw in the first video, where they are so solid you kind of can't see through them, I am specious of, because, well, we'll continue with that as we move along.
In this fourth video, another security guard captured a shadow person on camera.
The only problem with that last video, and I suppose the second video, you could say the same thing, is people could say it's kind of a trick of the sunlight or lighting in the room and the camera and whatnot, which it possibly could be. But again, like I said at the beginning with my qualifier, we honestly don't have any hardcore proof of that. As you can see, DJ Perry Purrs has joined me for this episode, so maybe she knows a little bit about shadow people that she would like to share as well. This next video that I want to share is, I'm kind of stuck whether I believe it or not. Well, let's just watch the video and then we'll take it from there.
Hello, everyone. This is Jorge Cruz from Magical Poltergeist, and I did want to reach out to you guys and let you guys know that about the other day, about the stuff that has happened in the room when my daughter was sleeping. I know that on the comments, people has been, arguing about the fact that, it could have been an angel or it could have been a demon or etc. But, to be strictly honest, guys, I have no clue if it was or not, but whatever it is, my daughter has been very.
So that is your quintessential shadow person. If it is in fact real, which it possibly could be, he does look earnestly startled. And that's what a shadow person would look like in real life. During our time doing paranormal investigating, we had a few experiences with seeing things like that. And they are startling. But the reason that I'm have a little bit of skepticism is because it's so perfectly formed to look like a human. But let's continue.
Guys, did I just saw something go into my room? Please tell me I didn't. It's not what I'm thinking. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay. So tell me that I'm not going crazy. I just literally saw someone in here. Amora? I literally saw somebody in here. Please tell me I'm not going crazy. This can't be truth. The attic is locked up. Yeah, guys, I don't fucking. Whatever. Bye.
The reason I say that I have a little bit of skepticism about that video because it did look like what a shadow person should look like. It was translucent. It was walking through, but it was almost too perfect. And I will give him credit that he did look earnestly surprised at the sighting of it, which is what somebody that would see one should do. But it's like I said, it was almost too perfect. I'm not saying I don't believe it, but that one, it makes me wonder. I would like to know more about the situation that was going on, or maybe what else he has seen, or whether he was just making a video and somehow created that. I will say, with lack of editing by him putting his hand in front of the camera and all that stuff, that leads a little bit more credence to believability. But I don't know. But that is your prototypical shadow figure. Now, the reason I sound so skeptical about some of them is, well, I'm going to show you with this next video because, well, there's no audio for this next video, so we'll just take it from there. It's the idea of if these ghosts are within the same realm as we are, so they're cognizant of their surroundings. So why are they, peeking around corners and whatnot? And I have issues with that because it just seems too convenient to create a video like this where something's peeking around the corner and what makes you think it's a ghost? It could just be somebody with a black hoodie on and you film it. So I don't necessarily believe most of the videos like that, and you get them a lot in short form videos. And I know people make stuff to, I don't want to say get attention, but to create viewership, to get likes, which is what we all tend to do here on short form videos. But for people that actually believe in ghostly phenomenon and the paranormal, there are a certain facets of people that will believe anything they see. And that's fine if that's what you choose to believe in. But that isn't a shadow figure, and that seems to be the kitschy thing to do these days, is to create these shadow figures that are peeking around corners and over top of shower rods and doors, and people walk around the corner and there's nobody there. But unfortunately, at least in my opinion, and I could totally be wrong, these are totally created because they're just a little too convenient. Because if you saw that while you were filming, this person's got a pretty steady hand. So they don't freak out until they walk around the corner and see nobody's there. So to me, something like this is completely made up and doesn't help the paranormal field. Okay, I found out there's nobody there, so I'm going to freak out now. So yeah, videos like that, for the most part, some of them could be real, I suppose. But in my opinion, the telltale signs, and people watching this or listening to it some people are going to vehemently disagree with me, that if they're so solid like that, you can't see through them. It's a kind of a telltale sign that it's a created video. Whereas the one before that we saw with the gentleman and his daughter, that one looked more plausible to me because it was translucent. And if they are ghosts, whether they be deceased folks that still have energy and or a residual energy from a building or a structure, or whether they happen to be interdimensional, however you want to theorize what they are. I'm not going to say what they are like other folks, but that's just me. You would think if they were that solid where you couldn't see through them, then you would be able to see some kind of features as well. And you can't in videos like that. So, do I believe in shadow people? I kind of do, because I do think there are a lot of things that we don't know about. But unfortunately, like that video, there's way too much fakery out there. And fakery within the paranormal is nothing new. That's been going on almost since the beginning. You can go back to photography from the 1800s, the double exposures and things like that, that were proven to be fake, right down to UFO sightings that have proven to be not just the misidentified ones, but the ones people actually make in fake videos. Way back as far as the 1950s and beforehand, there are as many actual sightings, unexplained sightings, there are just as many fake sightings or reports as there are real ones. And I've said this numerous times talking about UFOs, that about 95% of UFO sightings have a logical explanation. It's the 5% that everyone should be interested in, because the 95% is misidentifications or flat out hoaxes. So the same could be said for ghostly phenomenon as well. Might be 95%, and maybe sleep paralysis does have a little bit to do with certain ghostly sightings, but a lot of times people see things that they want to. And I will give you a quick story before we get to the last video, because I think the last one is a perfect example of something that quite possibly could be ghostly. But I had an experience shortly after my mother passed away, a month or so afterwards, that I was sitting in my living room and I could have swore I saw somebody walk out from the kitchen area right into the adjoining bedroom. Now, did I see it full on looking straight at it? No, it was kind of out of the corner of my eye. And that's a lot of how people see what they want to see, or they misidentify things. I could have just seen a shadow, of, the breeze blowing outside and making a branch move, and I catch the shadow of that. But does that mean I also didn't see a shadow figure move from the kitchen to the bedroom in my house? No, but I can't say for sure exactly what it was. And that's the hard part about the paranormal. Unless you capture it and you're able to rule out everything, it's really hard to label things as to what exactly they are. And I'm not saying that because I'm a skeptic and I don't believe, because I have seen things I cannot explain. But you have to go that extra step. You can't just willy-nilly believe everything you see. And I've said that ad nauseum about UFOs and UAPs. So that's all I'm saying is it possible? Absolutely, I believe it is possible. Does it happen? Absolutely, I think it does happen. But unfortunately, so many times, like that last video, it doesn't happen. People are just making it up. This video, I didn't get the video that I wanted to show because I couldn't find one that was accessible to use, but there is a perfect shadow figure video out there that is on the Paranormal Caught on Camera episode from England. And this teenage boy was seeing things in his house, and his father wasn't seeing it, but he didn't see it and he didn't really believe it. But he told his son, he goes, "Take my camera and set it up, and we'll see if you can capture what you're seeing on video." The father was assuming that his son was just having a vivid imagination. So the son did. He set it up and he captured this awesome video of a perfect shadow figure. Not like the ones that we saw in the last video where they're peeking around the corner. This thing just sort of appeared out of nowhere, almost like it stood up from a chair and walked into the room. That is the perfect shadow figure. This next video that I'm going to show you is kind of the same thing, and it's very hard to see. So pay close attention to the bottom of the stairs. These folks thought they heard something in their basement, so they kind of decided to film it. And this is what they captured on video. I'm going to play that again for you because it's kind of hard to see. And I will freeze at a point and talk about it. So if you didn't see it the first time, just pay attention to the bottom of the stairs. It's hard to see, but you can see something walk into the frame and almost start walking up the stairs. And that is a perfect shadow figure, which technically it's not a shadow figure, it's a ghostly figure. But hey, semantics. That is a very good video, in my opinion, of something that is unexplained. Perfect ghost footage. As far as shadow figures go, I think there's, and this is just my opinion, I don't have fact like nobody else does. I think there's varying degrees of energy as to whatever these ghostly spirits and shadow figures are, whether they are just leftover energy in a structure or somebody that has passed on or somebody interdimensional, however you want to word it. We don't know what it is. But I think there's varying amounts of energy that causes them to form. And I think that's the difference between your translucent ghost like you saw there and what people call shadow figures. And I don't discount the idea of sleep paralysis with a lot of bedtime shadow figures. But I think, in my opinion, it's the amount of energy that they're able to muster as to how much you can identify exactly what they are. So all in all, what do I think of shadow figures? Well, I think I've told you. The vast majority of the ones that you see in short form videos are probably fake and created, but some of them, like a couple that we saw on this episode, I absolutely believe. And the more I think about it, the one with the gentleman and his daughter, I kind of tend to believe that now. That was like the perfect ghostly image. And that last one, that one is. And then you can, some of the better ones you can find are some from the Gettysburg that people have filmed of ghostly soldiers still walking through the fields of Gettysburg. Those are great ghost footages. But overall, we really don't know what they are. But they are scary, and when you experience one, it is something that gets your adrenaline going. As usual, I don't have a closer for this, so let me know what your thoughts are on shadow people or ghostly apparitions. Let me know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to click like and subscribe so you're notified after each episode. And as usual, I don't have a closer for this. So I'll simply close with boo. Yeah, that doesn't work.